I tried to come up with a witty intro, but I wasn't getting any sparks of inspiration. Oh, f*** off, Blue. Was a pun really that shocking? Anyway, what is shocking is the number of static grass applicators that aren't geared towards tabletop minis. The vast majority of shaker videos are done with model railroad hobbyists in mind, and very understandably so. They're happily raising entire fields of grass, while we're usually raising entire fields of grass. So what's the key difference that makes most static grass applicators less effective for Warhammer and tabletop mini painters, but far better for railroad and dioramascenics? That was a mouthful. The miniature, obviously. You see, a key step for most applicators is to shake them as close as possible to the gluing point. The further up you go, the harder it is for the grass to stick the landing and not wind up as limp as a vegan in a butcher's shop. Spot the problem? Can't exactly get close with a mini in the way, and even small minis will cause bald spots underneath them. So now that you're aware of that giant hurdle, you understand exactly why I'm reviewing this grass applicator in particular. Because it's very f***ing good at being the solution. When it comes to static grass applicators, you get what you pay for. Cheaper ones will not be as strong and reliable as pricier options, but this one runs a fair middle ground for tabletop fans. It's certainly more than just buying a lot of tuft packages, but when it comes to laying down dense coverage, this one's got your back. The Pro Grass Box's professional looks aren't just for show. The casing is a hard plastic to help prevent accidental shocks. You'll find a bunch of contact information underneath, along with some rubber feet to keep it from sliding too easily. A wire and alligator clip come permanently attached and well insulated. And while the wire seems shorter than your average social media friendship, it's a perfect size considering how it's used compared to other applicators. The battery compartment is at the rear, and opening it can be a pain in the ass sometimes, so I prefer to use a screwdriver. The compartment slides out to accept your standard 9-volt battery, and the shelf itself is molded so you can't possibly put the battery in the wrong way. This isn't a challenge. Please don't put the battery in the wrong way. And we both know that's not the only reason you're no longer welcome to the block parties, Carl. When you first get this system, you'll find a protective film on top of the metal plate. Peel it off before you use it, or your box will be about as efficient as a cordless jump rope. This metal plate itself is where you'll be putting the grass. We'll get more into that in a bit, because now I'm finally bringing up the on switch. You'll find it at the very front, covered by a rubber film to ensure grass doesn't slip into the cracks. So why am I bringing this obvious part up now? You see, this is where the compact size and convenience is the box's undoing. It's not heavy enough to flip the switch without it moving, so you have to hold it. And if you're not paying attention to how you grip the box, your finger might glance the plate and you're in for a jump scare. Nothing that'll harm you, but static shock is always that unwelcome bitch at the block party, Carl. Also, when opening the battery compartment, your other hand may just grip the box the wrong way and turn it on while you're doing so. Another annoying jump scare, but so long as you're aware of this, just nitpicks in the long run, and both easily avoided. This box's potency more than makes up for its few design quirks. Before you turn it on, place some grass on the top shelf. Specifically, use 2 mil static grass or shorter. Indeed, this is one of the cases where impressive length and girth is not ideal. Because this thing is only powered by a 9-volt battery, putting longer lengths on top yields performance that is about as incredible as a virgin in an orgy. Anything larger is simply too much for this thing to throw around, but 2 mil is the most common static grass length, so it's not like you'll be rummaging around for Jimmy Hoffa's body. That said, 2 mil is more than enough for most hobbyists, so let's get the model dressed up for prom. You can attach the alligator clip to the model's base, or simply hold it from behind. Bonus points if you have magnets on the base to free your hand. If you do have to hold it, don't worry. You can get pretty damn close to the plate before arcs start flying. Like other grass applicators, the closer you get between the clip and the plate, the better. Just put some glue on the base, turn it on, hover it upside down, and stare in total wonder as your mini suddenly hoovers up that grass. Can we just take a second to appreciate this in slow motion? I mean, look at this! Not even a Yahoo News comments section has this much suck. Pro tip. Though powerful, it pays to tilt the model just to ensure more grass isn't cock-blocked by the model's stature. Waving it back and forth above the surface also helps with distribution. Usually it only takes one single pass for solid results. But if you like things extra thick, feel free to do a second pass. And yes, if you haven't guessed, you're gonna have a bigger mess than the global economy. You can use a paper towel or a vacuum with a sock over it to save as much as you can for later use. Here's a quick glimpse at the results. Great coverage, though a bit too even looking. That can always be tweaked, but we won't touch on that during this review. The box does its job with a mini in the way, and that's all we care about. On the other hand, here's another tip. Obviously, you won't touch the plate with your hand while it's on, but even after turning it off, one last jump scare charge remains. But this ain't a Dark Souls boss. To render the surface safe, simply tap the alligator clip to the plate to kill any remaining charge. And you're Gucci. Feel free to store it wherever you want, and with or without the battery attached. So if it wasn't obvious enough, yeah, seal of f***ing approval. Thanks for stopping by. Have a f***ing awesome day, and I'll see you next time.